Hello, thank you for joining me today. So I'm gonna start. Um, can architecture be taught and why?
I think you can teach everything. Doesn't say when you teach someone architecture what the outcome of it is. But I believe strongly that architecture is a discipline where you also have to do a lot of self self education. I think it's besides what you learn at school and what we can talk about at school and what you call maybe teach and educate. It's also a field where autodidact
Hmm.
is something you should be. So there's a lot of self-education as well.
Okay, thank you. Um, what is still missing in the architecture education system, and what do you see unnecessary to teach nowadays?
I believe strongly that beyond uh, courses and the uh, let's say the whole idea of what the classes etc are being given to you as a student at the university. um, Philosophy, for example, is something which should be more highlighted. I think that it's extremely important that besides doing classes and studio, and I think at IIT we are doing that very intense and very broad. The idea of giving more attention to philosophy is something I would say is not unimportant. It has to do also with the whole critical momentum we are in, the time which is very complex,
Hmm.
and I think philosophical philosophy is something I would say we should even pay more attention to.
Okay, thank you. How do you push the boundaries of architecture and education?
Boundaries of architectural education. I think architectural education, as we do it at the College of Architecture, is already quite broad and intense. Breaking the limits. I think that we have to bring also our students outside the boundaries of Crown Hall. So on the one hand, bring people out, make them more aware of what the world outside of IIT is, of Crown Hall
Hmm.
is, but on the other hand, bring the world in and confront our students and our faculty, because we not only educate students, we also educate ourselves
Right.
all over the time to to bring more critical mass into the school. Also, and we are very lucky at IIT that we have so many other colleges to collaborate with other colleges is important to me. So I think um, the boundaries of the architectural discipline, as we teach, should also make students aware of other disciplines architecture is confronted with. So it would be great when in 5 years we find out that one of our students is working on the program how we can build on Mars, or how. So I think even when we believe that architecture has to do with the built work, let's say it's maybe landscape or urban design or the building.
Hmm.
Yes, we should encourage everyone to look beyond the let's say the framework of what you could call the discipline of architecture.
Okay. How can we educate the general public about architecture?
I think we do that mainly because of uh, when people walk around at the campus, and we have every day we have visitors here, and they ask themselves, why is this the biggest classroom in the world? Why is this biggest classroom so famous? And they come and they ask themselves these questions when they go to Millennium Park and see what is happening in the city of Chicago. I think we should build incredible, interesting buildings. We should also understand that the system of media attention. I think we should really try to catch also media attention and don't have only the debate within the discipline itself. See other disciplines, you know, there's something happening. Media is interested in politics, and media is interested in whatever. But we should bring our debates outside of the of Crown Hall and IIT, and I think by having AMSHAP, the America's Prize, we create attention. By what is happening now at school with the NIA Prize, you know, we get national, international press by that. I think yes, we can do so. Also, a museum in the city of Chicago, the biennial is bringing a lot of attention to architecture, and I think the biennial in Chicago had an incredible amount of visitors. So by building, by media, publish, have debates, but make great buildings and make the environment work.
What is the architecture degree worth to you?
An architectural degree is very important for several reasons. First is an entry to the world. It's a kind of, you have a great degree from IIT, and yes, people appreciate that, and you have an entrance ticket. That's one. Second, what you learned while before you get a degree, that's very important, of course, you know. So what is happening in the process of learning and education? And next is that I think this degree should also make people aware that being at IIT and doing research and educate yourself here is helping you to understand how you collaborate with other disciplines, with other firms, with people around. So I think the degree is not only an entrance ticket, as I mentioned, but also it tells people the quality of people who leave this school. So in that sense, ranking is important. The degree is important as kind of certificate that you can run an office, or that you can write an article. I think it's important, and that's also the reason why we have the BArch as a degree, the MArch, the MLA, Master of Science, and PhD. I think these degrees show people to the outside who you are, what you are, and I think it's important.
Wiel, thank you for joining us today.